For years, I reported on every scare someone brought me. Dangerous chemicals, nuclear threats, food additives. But eventually I got to the point where I said, wait a second, my TV show hypes everything. Every night we say, watch out, this could kill you. Shouldn't part of our job be to put risk in perspective? After all, some things are much more likely to hurt us than others. So I spent a year researching what is actually most likely to kill us. I compiled a list and posted it over my desk. So I then was ready when a 2020 producer came in with the next scare story. John, he said, we got to do a story on Bic lighters. Bic lighters are spontaneously I can't even keep this one on. Spontaneously catching fire, exploding in people's pockets. They've killed 4 Americans over the last 4 years. And they had. I mean, some of you are laughing, but they had. Some people had been horribly burned. But by then, I had my list, and I could say to him, okay, I'll do your scare story on Bic lighters. They've killed 4 people over 4 years. That's 1 person per year. So before we do a story on that, let's do a story on plastic bags. They kill 20 Americans most years. Or bathtubs. Let's do a story on bathtubs. They kill hundreds of Americans. Or buckets. These kill more people than Bic lighters. Children fall into them and drown. That's why they have to have this warning on them. It's a big country. A lot of nasty things happen to people. If we scare everyone about the ants, how can they pay attention when the elephants come? The 2020 producer then called me callous, and they got another reporter to do the Bic lighter story. So, what should we worry about? Well, let's look at my updated list. Here are some things that the media cover and how many days each risk takes off an average life. That's the measurement risk specialists use. Turns out my original list was too crude because it didn't account for the fact that something that kills children is worse than something that kills people my age. So the specialists now compare risk by how many days does each risk take off an average life. Flying is at the top of this list, and some people are very scared of flying, but there are so few plane crashes today. Flying takes less than a day off an average life. Next is terrorism. We're near Times Square now. Lots of people are worried about terrorism. What do you worry about for your own safety?
Right now, like terrorism.
Outside terrorism?
Terrorist attacks.
Terrorism is a fear.
Germ warfare, terrorist attacks would be the most scary thing.
So, let me ask you, hands up, how many of you are worried about terrorism? Most everybody. It's reasonable to worry. 3,000 people died September 11th, not far from here. But let's put it in perspective. If September 11th happened every 3 years, and it's been 9 years now, but if 3,000 Americans were killed every 3 years, terrorism would still take just 2 days off an average life. Compare that to ordinary house fires. We don't worry much about them, but we should. Almost 9 days off an average life. A $10 smoke detector is a wonderful thing. And now watch how all these bars have to shrink when I add smoking to the list. The idea that some smoker worries about flying or being a victim of terrorism is laughable. We rarely worry about the right things. And we're always making it worse as journalists. We have this saying, if it bleeds, it leads. And that's sort of a joke, but it's also accurate because fear sells. If I say, tonight on Stossel, a new chemical that might kill you, more of you will watch than if I say, you know, in America, life's pretty good. Scare stories bring higher ratings. Look at the risks again. Plane crashes are a tiny risk, but if a plane crashes, we got to cover it. It's big news. But we go on and on. We're here live at the scene. We don't know anything, but we'll keep telling you what we don't know live for hours. ABC tried to get me to do the stories on the most dangerous airlines or the 10 most dangerous airports. I refused because I think it's more statistical murder. The month after we hype an airline crash, fewer people fly. That means more people drive to Grandma's house for Thanksgiving. Look at where driving fits on my chart compared to flying. If more people drive to Grandma's house, more people die. That chart should also make you wonder about the person who drives farther to get to the organic food store. People just worry about the wrong stuff. And now let me add one more risk to my chart. Watch how all the others have to shrink when I add poverty. If you are poor, below the poverty line in America, or in the lowest quintile of income in other countries, your lifespan is likely to be 7 to 10 years shorter. Poverty kills. Poor people drive older cars with older tires. They buy less fresh fruit and so on. Wealthier is healthier. In poor countries, there are floods that kill thousands. In America, there are floods that are just as bad. But with rare exceptions like Hurricane Katrina, no one dies. The difference? Wealth. We can afford dikes to divert the water, radios to hear about the danger, cars so we can drive away. Wealthier is healthier. And so, when we spend time and money obsessing about the small stuff like plane crashes and even terrorism, all the stuff at the top of the list, we kill people. I'd add in global warming and pollution and chemicals that the media hypes. They'd be little blips at the top of that chart. But obsessing about them quickly becomes political activism, which leads to more regulation. Millions of rules that make it harder to open a business or run a business. And when a business doesn't open or it's regulated to death, we are all a little poorer. That means too many rules kill people. Americans live longer today not because of hyper-cautious regulation, but because we're prosperous. Because of our relative freedom, at least up until now, gave us the power to prosper. Prosperity brings more safety.